Hey everybody, Troy with Ohio Mountain Bike Trails, and today I'm going to be showing you my dream bike. This is my Specialized S-Works Epic. If you like my videos, make sure you like and subscribe. So the reason why I'm saying this is my dream bike and not necessarily my dream build, although I did buy this bike as just a frame, fork, and seat post, there are some things on it that I still, I'm happy with them, but I eventually want to upgrade them. And I mean, let's be honest, it's been 2 years and I haven't gotten around to it yet. So obviously I'm not too upset about the parts. So one really neat thing about this bike is in the fork and then the rear suspension, it actually has an innovation that Specialized calls the brain. So what that does is there's an inertia valve both up front here in the fork and then down here past the rear axle. There's an inertia valve, and basically what that means is when you are riding smooth flat road, the inertia valve is closed, but then once it notices that you are going over a route, over a chunky section, there's a little weight in there that will move up and down or side to side, and it will open up that valve and then unlock the suspension. So that system is called the brain. When I did buy the frame itself, it did come with the suspension, like I said, and it came with this very nice carbon seat post. Now there's quite a few other carbon things on this bike that really stand out. We have a carbon handlebars, and then this seat is actually pretty unique. My good friend Colton was shopping in a Goodwill one day and stumbled upon this. He bought a carbon frame seat for $1. So I just had to get specific seat mount rails for it, since you can't clamp down on carbon in a certain way. You don't want to clamp down on it too tight, and it has a little unique proprietary design on the seat rails. So had to get a special clamp just to clamp that down. Not only does it have carbon bars and a carbon seat, it also has carbon spacers up here as well. Now, I didn't totally geek out and get a carbon stem. Maybe one day I will to make it the absolute dream build instead of the dream bike. But for now, aluminum's doing the job and I love it. One thing that I haven't even talked about yet that catches the eye of everybody who sees it is the frame. The frame is entirely carbon throughout here. Now the coolest thing that I absolutely love about this bike is the paint job. That's why it's my dream bike. Well, that and the suspension is just top notch. This bike is the reason. It is the thing that broke my habit. Every single year I get a brand new bicycle, sell the old one, get a new one. I've had this bike for 2 years. I am in love. It's awesome. It looks cool. It never gets old. All right, so now a few places where I definitely cut some corners. As you notice, these aren't the latest and greatest technology, the plastic pedals. I'm just kidding. I don't actually ride these. I do have a pair of Shimano XT pedals that I ride on. I threw these pedals on so that my buddy, who also has a YouTube channel, go check him out, Eric Barnett Cycling, we wanted to go ride Rays. He'd never been mountain biking. I'm like, oh, I'll just throw the flat pedals on there and it'll be fine. It looks absolutely hilarious to me. Plastic flat pedals on S-Works. Now, one thing that I would eventually like to upgrade is the brakes. Right now, I just have Shimano front and rear brakes on here. They are Dior. They're not the bottom level. They definitely get the job done. They've lasted me 2 years and I've been very happy with them, but it would be nice to kind of bump up the ladder, get some nicer Shimano brakes on there. Now up here I also have a SRAM GX shifter. Again, that's not bottom of the line either. It's definitely not the top. These are kind of some of the reasons why I say it's not necessarily my dream bike, but I'm so grateful to have the parts that I do on here because they're not entry level by any means. Down here at the drivetrain of the bike, we do have a SRAM Eagle crankset, as well as just your generic SRAM Eagle chain. And then I do have a 12-speed cassette and a 12-speed SRAM rear derailleur. It is a X1. It might actually be an XX1, but it is pretty scuffed up and it's hard to read. So eventually I would love to upgrade that to, you know, maybe the new SRAM derailleur that just came out or something at least electronic. But, you know, kind of one of the hard things about electronic is it's expensive. If you scuff it up like mine, you gotta replace it, and that's even more expensive. And some more carbon that you can find on this bike is in the rim. These are the Specialized SL Control models. They're ridiculously light. It almost feels like they have an engine in them once I come around corners because it is just that easy to pedal through. Now, as far as tire choice, I race in Ohio, so I like to have a little bit less aggressive tire on the rear and quite a bit more aggressive tire on the front. So I am running my Ardent races up front and then my Recon races in rear. Of course, those are Maxxis. I did run the Specialized tires that I had originally got with the wheels. They were Fast Tracks. I didn't like them. They've had a lot of upgraded components in their tires since then. Go check out my Specialized chisel video that I posted a little while ago. I'll send the link down below as well. I go into a little bit more breakdown of the tire and tire changes that we've seen. Lastly, I do have a Specialized Z cage on here. It is great with this tight spot. I do ride a medium frame, so it doesn't leave a lot of room to put a water bottle in here. And I can actually fit another cage right here with a side load and get a water bottle in here just fine because you don't actually have to put it in straight down. You just slap that thing in there and you keep going. That has saved me so many times from hitting a tree. Now I also have ECI grips up here. I do have problems with my fingers. I actually have trigger finger, so my fingers will actually lock up at weird angles. So for some reason the ECI grips, just the circumference of these just is perfect for my hands. I don't know what it is, but they work great. Now I also have a fender on here. This was complimentary of Steadfast fenders. They make absolutely great fenders, keeps all the muck out of your fork, especially in this terrible spring weather that we've been having with all the rain. So go check them out, Steadfast fenders. You can find them online and then on Instagram. So that's my Specialized Epic. I hope you guys liked the video. Thanks for watching. Hope you like and subscribe.